David Collins.
David Collins. David Collins.
David Collins.
David Collins.
You're listening to 30-minute half hour.
I hope you guys have checked out David Collins' 30-minute half hour podcast.
Featuring great guests like Andy Fiore, Katie Burke, and Cardiff Electric.
Never heard of these guys.
Hey, Joey, relax.
He's either hilarious or hates me.
Oh, well, I appreciate you, by the way, man. Thank you for watching it with you and your mother. I hope I was able to make you guys laugh a little bit in a hospital setting. I know that
certainly, and it's not often that she gets to smile anymore, so it's great that she had that opportunity with your special.
It means a lot, dude, so thank you.
Oh, this is the best podcast I've ever been on. This was the most fun.
Wow, what a compliment.
Yo, thanks for keeping this guy going and kicking ass and taking names. I don't know if I can swear on this, so I'm sorry if I messed that up. But, dude,
we try to keep it a family show, but as you could see by that opening segment, we're getting a little edgier than we're used to. Yes. But our audience seems to be enjoying it.
This was tremendous. Thank you for having me, I guess.
I just want to say this is probably the best day of my life, Dave. I had a really great time.
This was a great time.
We'll have to have you back in the future. You've done such a good job in those games. Do you know Austin Ingalls?
I love Austin.
He did a great job on these games, and we're looking to have him back.
Well, I just want to say thank you for inviting me on. It was really great to be a part of the show. I hope you get Jerry back. I hope that they find him. And I wish you and your viewers the best.
Hi there. I'm calling to leave a voicemail for David Collins.
First-time caller, long-time listener.
Hi, David. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Good morning. This voicemail is for David Collins. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Big up, David.
Hey, Dave. First-time caller.
Hey, David. This is Dan McCullough calling in.
Hey, David. Real glad to hear you on the air again.
Hi, David. This is Deborah, a longtime listener of your show.
David Collins, longtime caller, first-time listener. I love the show.
That's perfect. Everybody listening? Everybody listening? Perfect. Everybody listening? Perfect. Everybody listening? That's perfect. Everybody listening? That's perfect. Everybody listening? And that's perfect. Everybody listening? That's perfect. Everybody listening? That's perfect. Everybody listening? What a great episode. That's perfect. Everybody listening? I've been David Collins, and you've been David Collins, and you've been David Collins, and you've been the best.
You're listening to David Collins' 30-minute half-hour podcast.
That is great radio.
Starring David Collins.
I've been known as a bit of a hot interviewer, and I need to confront you on something here.
You've seen him on KMKF or 30-minute half-hour show. But now, with his very own podcast featuring the best comedians and broadcasters from all over this great country of ours.
Not a lot of people know this about me, but I'm also a large fan of comedy.
Now here's your host, David Collins.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Drive Time David Collins. Happy July 9th.
Woohoo!
Happy Hump Day. It's another, it always bugs me when this happens. I'm not even sure how bugged I am, but I'm a little froze. I'm not sure how long we wait or what the plan should be. We're missing someone. It's only really happened one other time. I remember when Dan McCullough was very late, and I was here with Skylar Coltrane.
Yeah, I seen that.
You remember that? And then Dan McCullough had to leave early, and Skylar had to leave early. I was left by myself at the end of the show. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Hump Day. It's going to be a great day. Look outside. We have a great view on the outdoor camera today. It's really green out there after all this rain. Oh, whoops.
Ooh.
Hey, you see the outdoor camera this morning? Isn't that something?
Yeah.
A lot of green out there. Anyway, the farm is looking good. I don't know what they planted. Good morning, everybody. We're joined by Robert Sidney Wallace and David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show's number one fan this morning. Delicious is late.
Hello.
Or he hasn't even woken up. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Delicious, but that's what's going on. Troy had to call in, unfortunately, and Delicious was going to fill in. Let's see if we can give him a call this morning.
No one could fill in for Troy.
I agree, and I think a lot of the people listening are going to agree also. But let's give Delicious a call here.
Troy's a character. He's in a good way.
Little bagpipes to start the morning. What did you think about that?
That was nice. I liked it, Robert. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bagpipes?
Fun, right?
Delicious is not answering his phone. This isn't good. We might just have to move on without him, I guess. I mean, if he's a little late, that's okay. I don't mind.
I can play two people. I can play with Delicious and me. But, you know, he might not like it, though, but...
Oh.
Leave a message with details. If you're ordering funeral cake, hurry up. Everyone's dying to get them.
He has a joke in his voicemail.
Everyone's dying to get
He left a joke in his voicemail. Well, that was worth it. What the hell?
That was worth it.
I should start putting some of my jokes in there.
Yeah.
I say, if I didn't answer, it must be because I just got a DUI.
Yeah.
You know what's strange about these DUIs? The first things the cops do is they ask to see if you're a robot by making you do the walk-in Turing test.
I had a pair.
Leave a voicemail.
I had a pair of brand new cowboy boots, and they were telling me. I mean, I was totally sober though, but they were like, "Oh, will you walk?" Dude, I'm like, these things aren't even broken in, you know. And then the one cop understood, you know, and yeah.
I've never had.
But I had to do all the damn, you know, freaking.
Yet.
Touching your nose?
Yeah.
Did you have to do the alphabet backwards? You seem like you could probably do the alphabet backwards.
No.
You know? Oh, excuse me.
I love that video of that one lady teaching the guy to copy her dance, and then he does it, and he gets really into it, and at the end, he's all excited, and she's like, "Have you been drinking?" He's like, "Yep." Oh. Whoops.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
And then what happened?
I didn't explain it correctly.
Anyway, what a great show we have planned today.
Remember that.
I envisioned Robert Wallace and Troy Rigdon returning after 3 weeks. Because that was such a mess, and then we've had different shows since. Every show is so different, and this is going to be another great example of that. I have some Soon Hari apple mango here. I had half of a bottle of this left. What do you guys think about that? What are you drinking?
Soon Hari.
You had some coffee this morning. I had my coffee this morning, of course. I hope everybody's enjoying their coffee on their drive to work here.
I am enjoying my coffee. Thank you so much.
Is music still playing?
No.
It's paused. Anyway, we want to get into, we have some Daniel Alvarez. I thought I had something I had to talk about off the bat. Oh, right. I couldn't figure out how to put this together. I have a listener that's sending me very funny Facebook Marketplace flubs in their area. And they've sent me about a dozen of these Marketplace flubs, and I want to show them and joke about them with people on the show and with my audience, but I can't really figure out a way to put up those images in an efficient way so we can kind of cycle through them. So maybe next week we'll get to some of those Marketplace flubs. I'm looking forward to that. Everything just paused. Oh, I paused it.
Did you get any of the prison ones that I sent you?
Yeah, we talked about it last week on the show. I wanted to ask you a little about that. You were watching that for hours.
What's that?
You sent me one at like 1 in the morning, and then you sent me another right before 3 a.m. So for a couple hours, you were scrolling through that page, huh?
No.
Prison Connects.
No, just scrolling through the Facebook shorts. And, they
kept coming up.
Yeah, they popped up like twice or 3 times.
I see. Well, we watched more than 3.
Yeah, was there more than 3?
It was a lot of fun. Well, there were hundreds.
Really?
On their page. Prison Connects, Instagram.
If you go onto their page, I guess.
Right.
The comments are wild.
I never went onto their page.
Did you comment at all?
No, I didn't go onto their page even.
What do you think about that?
I just went to the short and I just sent it. And
do you ever think about, would you ever be interested in seeking a woman through Prison Connects?
No, probably not.
You've been around too many of those types of women.
Yeah.
Interesting. They're young?
Sometimes.
Yeah. But no. You wouldn't. What holds you back from doing that? What woman are you attracted to?
Me?
Describe your perfect woman.
Perfect. Same morals as mine. I mean,
right.
No double standard. A non-cheating. Like, it would upset me just for them to even ask me if I cheated, you know. But because I'm just like yeah.
That's pretty easy.
When it becomes to friends or anything, you know, like cheating in any kind of form.
Any women out there, email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. We'll connect you with Robert Wallace.
Yeah.
So Zach Hoyle, we had on the show a few weeks ago, has is in a way auditioning to become a David Collins 30-minute half-hour show correspondent. You saw a little of this video, David Collins 30-minute half-hour show.
What's a correspondent?
I think it was
Somebody that goes on the street.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So we have this video from Zach Hoyle here, and he just, I accepted, I authorized this in a way. I kind of feel like somebody I was having a conversation. I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, thinking that we would talk about it a little more, and then 2 days later, this was just appeared, and it wasn't even sent to me. I just found it, so we'll take a little listen to this. I guess I should set it up. In Des Moines, no, none of us know anything about Des Moines. Des Moines comedy scene, I'm calling it the LA of Iowa now. And this is not a attractive scene to me. This is where Matt Ferry, or previous co-host here,
LA?
Zach Hoyle. What?
What did you call it?
The LA of Iowa.
What's that?
Is it too early in the show or too early in the morning to call them gay in a derogatory manner?
No.
I think that's kind of what I'm getting to.
I gotcha.
You know, Iowa City, a lot of people might think about that, but Iowa City's a little more like a Northwest. And they're pretty kind there, and I don't think they have the funniest people, and we can make jokes about them, but they're not as full of themselves as it seems like the people in Des Moines are. In all these areas in Iowa, have you ever been to a funniest person in Iowa competition?
I lived in Iowa City for 8 years.
They've had them in Cedar Rapids. They've had them in Iowa City. They have them in Des Moines.
I've never been to... What'd you say it was called?
The funniest person in Iowa comedy competitions.
No.
They happen in different areas.
Is that the one Ryan Graham won, and then...
Very possibly. I'm not really sure of the history, but I understand they're not really connected, and they happen all over the state. So, it's just a title. But in Des Moines, they're making some real jokes about it. And we're going to try to follow this a little bit, but this is what's happening in the Des Moines comedy scene a little bit. It's a little inside baseball. Luckily, I'm as unfamiliar as the audience, so we can all drudge through this. I'm very confused by this submission as a correspondent, but
I like the way you just worded that whole paragraph.
Thank you. Wow. What a compliment. Once we watch a little bit, maybe that we can talk about it.
Local David Collins
That's quiet.
half-hour show correspondent Zach Hoyle here live at Ironside Axe Throwing Club in Des Moines, Iowa. Guys, we have such a treat for you. I'm so excited.
Also, what does live mean in this context? What do you mean by live, Zach Hoyle? You're not live in any context.
This man next to me doesn't need any kind of introduction. It is the absolute...
In fact, he does, and I think we should pause before. As soon as he introduces himself, we should take a look at this guy with the crown. It's a very shiny crown. Epilepsy warning.
I was thinking the same thing.
We should take a little look at some of his stand-up comedy here just to learn a little more about him. I think his name's Matthew Jacobs.
King of the Des Moines comedy scene.
Yeah, and he has lanyards around his neck, like the funniest person in medals.
Matthew Jacobson. Your Highness.
So I don't know anything about these people, but I don't like being waved at like that.
Arrogant.
What do you think about wearing a crown after a comedy competition, Robert Wallace?
I better be at Burger King if I'm wearing and drunk if I'm wearing a crown. In that side room, the side room, Burger King uptown.
Can we find some of his? Okay, here we go. We found some of his stand-up comedy. Honky Tonk Badonkadonk Revisited. Matthew Jacobson, stand-up comedy. And then we have some of him playing football in high school, it looks like, too.
But as I was sitting there and just
Let's take it. Oh, this is shot well, too, actually. Maybe he's funny. We'll get a good, honest check here on this Matthew Jacobson.
This dimly lit room, the only thing I could hear over the PA system was honky tonk badonkadonk. And so I just sat there with my own thoughts about honky
Kind
tonk.
of like a Starbucks thing in the back, but not.
Yeah, what pyramid is he performing underneath?
Yeah, I don't know.
So for everyone who doesn't know, honky tonk badonkadonk, or HTBDAD for short, comes from a long line of booty worship anthems that all started with Baby Got Back.
He has a nice
It's
outfit.
like Trace Atkins heard the lyrics, Even White Boys Got Me Shout, and he was just like, you know, they sure do, don't they?
All right, well, the audience seems to be enjoying it.
Wonder how many people.
They're two of my least favorite things in comedy are country impressions and jokes about song lyrics. Those are actually two of my pet peeves. So he immediately, within a 60-second time frame of watching his stand-up comedy, hit both of those points. But that's personal to me. I hate that.
I can tell by the way you scripted it.
Turn it up, so. All right, boys, this is your favorite song. You know that, right? So if we play it good and loud, she might get up and dance.
Oops.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, she's
What do you
good
feel
now.
about?
Here she comes, here she comes. Left, right, left. Woo! Pause. That's creepy as hell.
All right, maybe it's because I paused it, but he did lose me. But anyway, that's Matthew Jacobson. Now we know a little more about his stand-up comedy.
Can I ask you a question?
Please do.
What do you feel about people that do comedy that pull out a guitar on stage? You know, I mean,
I'm a big fan of musical comedy. I don't think there's enough of it.
you really?
Right.
Yeah.
I think you mix it up. More
Yeah,
variety
I guess it
in
matters. I
shows.
guess it matters who's.
My favorite thing about Jeff Dunham's first big comedy special is that he went up there and he did 15 minutes of stand-up comedy, and then he pulled out his first doll. You want a little variety.
Yeah,
I think that's very good in a comedy show. And
Yeah,
guitar,
yeah.
you pull it down halfway through. It's great. It's a great way to end this.
I guess it
end a
matters
show.
who. I guess it matters who. You know, you got those people that are saying that where you're just like this. Jesus.
As long as they don't play Wonderwall.
Well, I don't know what that is, but it's probably something to be like this. Is that what kind of song it is? You're like, please don't play that song.
Right, exactly. It's the cliche playing at a party.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Matthew Jacobson.
there's
Let's
been a
take a
little
little
bit of
look.
a
Learning a little about this Des Moines comedy scene. The other two people we tried starting to follow in the Des Moines comedy scene, one moved away and one's having like a schizophrenic break. So they're not really public about it. So it's, well, they are, but it's in meme format that we can't cover.
Was Jameson Cox, was he from?
Jameson Cox?
Yeah.
He did spend a lot of time in Des Moines.
Oh, yeah.
Is going on in your realm the past week or so about the depancing.
Yes.
You depanced Wade Taylor at Underground Comedy about a week or so ago.
The coverage of
Ooh,
this.
hot news.
It is hot news, but doesn't this feel so LA? It's like, are we supposed to know the names of these people?
I'm not sure if I would want like.
Is that the security
to be
footage
known-
they're going to show?
Do we have video? They do. It is well produced. By the way, this is produced by Matt Ferry.
I don't know if I'd want to be the one to be like,
Shout out.
I pulled his pants down. I mean, you know.
I think Zach Oil's doing a good job on his first time out here. I don't really like the subject, and Matt Ferry did an amazing job producing the thing. So I have no complaints with the people, except Matthew Jacobson. You know, I met Matthew Jacobson once, and he didn't want to be interviewed.
MJ?
I guess I could mention that. When we went to the what's-his-face for the election coverage in Des Moines, we interviewed a bunch of Des Moinesians. Matthew Jacobson didn't want to be interviewed.
Yes. You depanced Wade Taylor at Underground Comedy about a week or so ago.
It's like they're getting ready to slap each other in the face. It's like two feral cats in an alley. Oh, they go to shake hands, and the man with the crown pulls it back.
And then he pants the host.
Shit, my pants. Oh, excuse me.
Also, Zach Oil, please. It's not a de-pantsing. It's pantsing somebody.
Yeah, I mean, my pants fell down when I was on stage. That was accidental, though.
Right.
I mean, you know, it wasn't like that.
That's a de-pantsing.
Yeah. It's not like another dude de-pantsing another dude.
No, you pants people.
People
Yeah.
have questions.
Nobody really has
What kind of
questions.
message do you have for your loyal subjects tonight?
If my loyal subjects be comedians, the message would be funnier, and also don't tell me to do things like shake hands with Sam Hershock.
Who's that?
I think
That's exactly my point. It's very inside. But anyway, this was sent and it has my name on it, so we had to play it.
Like clicky? Kind of clicky?
Sam Hershock, everybody. Apparently, this man, Matthew Jacobson, thought he was gross.
made my statement pretty clear.
It's a cool Goosebump shirt. I like the Goosebump shirt more than I like that
me too.
corny crown.
Yeah, me too.
And I wasn't ready to shake hands with Sam Hershock, but old Norman got up there. By the way, did you know his name was Norman?
First time hearing it.
It's not Wade, it's Norman. And he wanted me to shake hands with Sam, so I felt like
It's a great
serving
shirt,
them both
Zach
the
Oil.
business was appropriate.
In fact, Zach Oil reposted this on Facebook, so I logged in. Somebody told me about this, and I logged in, and I commented, great shirt.
Yes. That'd be a cool feeling, to see your shirt,
Oh, yeah, we see it in Doug Townsend's video in Louisiana all the time.
Oh, nice.
In the in your kingdom, it seems like you're choosing to not extend an olive branch, but
All right,
rather.
well, we're gonna skip. This is a pretty short clip, but we are gonna skip about 30 seconds here and just move on to get to the end.
Is that guy just playing that role, or is he really?
It's tough to say. I don't really know much about. All I know is that he refused to be filmed, and now he's walking around with a crown, calling himself the king of comedy. So it's tough to say.
I made my point
But
pretty
you can
clear.
put it
He's
on
gonna have
pause
to
at
come with
any
some-
moment, and he has a facial expression. You know what I'm saying?
It's good. I don't know what you're saying.
Like right now, and you can
heavier.
hit pause again. Like every facial expression.
Right.
I'm not talking bad. I'm just saying. I can't say it when people say I'm just saying.
Oh.
And then I just said it.
Yeah, look how cool he looks. See? He does cool hunches.
Yeah, totally.
I get what you're getting at.
artillery to try to kind of
And
knock
he's
down what I've already
drinking
set
milk.
up. So,
But
By the way, I just want to tease later in the show. I think Daniel Alvarez is being deported.
Who's that?
He's a Mexican fellow that drinks 10 liters of soda a day. It's gonna be
that guy.
it's gonna be amazing.
Hey, did you when you watched that video? Did you think that pop looked a little too light colored? Like it was maybe watered down?
That's a fascinating accusation.
Because when I was watching that, I
Are
was
you a
like,
bit of a soda expert? Would you say?
Yeah.
All
I was-
right.
I was
Well,
like,
we're gonna get into that.
I was
here.
thinking if you got that exact brand, you know.
I don't believe it's watered down because he's an advocate for soda.
Yeah, but like
he doesn't believe people. He believes people should drink 2 liters of soda a day.
I think you should just
Recommendation.
get that same brand, you know, because it shows the brand. It's like some Mexican brand or some weird brand that, and you know, see if it's the same, you know, like see through.
We're going to let Zach Hoyle here wrap this up, and Daniel Alvarez is coming up. And really, I just want to spend the entire day talking about Daniel Alvarez. We'll end the show later, and we'll continue talking Daniel Alvarez. And they all posted new things. I checked up. IN8K posted something new in the last 12 hours. Daniel Alvarez posted something new in the last 12 hours. So I don't even have it on my prep package. We could pull it up, but let's wrap this up. Zach Hoyle and the king of comedy, apparently, hasn't been on my show.
It sounds like some of the veteran comics in the scene are scared of your throne. What do you have to say to people who call you a tyrant?
well, if you would like to give me those names, I would love to tell you exactly what you should say.
Quick tip for Zach Hoyle here also, don't hand the people the microphone. It's very dangerous. You want to keep it in your hand at all times.
Good point.
To each and every one of those specific individuals, but to the old guard that may have some complaints, where are you at? I'm here at an open mic on a Monday, and I don't see
Weird
a lot of
flex.
them. I don't see any of them. It's just me.
So he shows himself in an empty room at an open
he was
mic.
He was looking at his
Nobody's
watch.
showing up. He's looking at his watch.
He
So
was.
he is. There is some self-awareness here. I'm just a little confused. So we're keeping up on this in a way. Where does this end at any point? All right.
And last question.
Last question.
Your Highness. If for all the peasants out there listening right now, what's one message you have for all of them?
I was really hoping he would ask what he wanted to be reincarnated as.
David Collins, that's what he wanted to be reincarnated as.
A mongoose.
A mongoose.
That'd be good.
You're dismissed.
Whoa.
You're
Do what you
dismissed.
will.
You heard it here, folks. Straight from the king's mouth.
That
the comedy kingdom lives on.
Was kind
This is Zach
of
Hoyle with David Collins 30-minute half-hour show.
pompous.
Signing off.
All right.
Have a good night.
Wow.
Well, that was Zach Hoyle, everybody.
What a stud.
Keep it up. I want to see more of this. I don't know. Find some more interesting people.
That's fun.
I'd rather hear Jake or Pirate Stew.
Isn't it? Go find Pirate Stew, Zach Hoyle. They got to have a good Pirate Stew in Des Moines. All right, let's get into this, Daniel. Oh, we have John Paul. Oh, yeah, well, this was interesting. I don't know who we had on the show for this. John Paul has a follow-up on this green rice situation. I really wanted Delicious to be here for this green rice situation, too. Maybe we'll just skip this.
Green. No,
you
I
have an
gotta find out what this is about.
All right. So a few weeks ago, we of course, John Paul, we first introduced, he said, "I love you" for 10 minutes straight. His mail gets delivered to the other side of the street, and he makes a video about it. He records music, root beer review. Anyway, John Paul, a couple months ago, he had 2 videos, one video and then a follow-up video, investigating why his white rice turned green as he was making rice chocolate pudding. He's mixing his chocolate pudding with the rice. His rice turned green. Now, months later, he's put together an experiment, and he's doing a follow-up to that, which was incredible to me.
Did you say monks later?
Very, very good. I did not.
I thought you really thought you
It's
did.
a good pun.
This story is reminding me of Little Shop of
Horrors?
It's thickening.
Horrors.
All right.
John
I keep
Paul,
forgetting
everybody.
now I remember.
That's on a couple days ago.
Final phase.
I love it.
The best I could do as a scientific test for the why is the rice. I still have the other rice from before. Why did
By the way, he's hard of hearing. He's not a truck driver. I have to remind people that when he has that weird earpiece in. It's a truck driver earpiece, isn't it? Isn't it strange?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
A headset.
Why?
That's a Bluetooth.
did the rice turn green? So here's from before. And it's green, right? So I already tried it with regular
It's
rice.
2-month-old rice,
Nothing
John
happened.
Paul.
You get it at the giveaway.
It would turn green by now, wouldn't it?
I'm sure you got it at the giveaway. I'm not,
back to the
I get it at the giveaway too, you know.
Are you calling John Paul homeless?
No, I'm saying I'll get it at the giveaway too.
He's a nice apartment.
Ew, what? This looks so gross.
Oh, well, that's chocolate pudding in his white rice. He just cooked it.
That looks like 4-day-old chocolate pudding.
He's going to rinse off the chocolate pudding now and see if the rice is green. But first he wants to show off his dumpling maker.
Korean or Japanese, I don't know. Pretty good. It's also a Ukrainian.
My girlfriend would walk in and like dumpling.
Maker, Vareniki maker.
This actually really upset me. John Paul's signaling here, which bugs me. It's pierogies are not Ukrainian, and
What's
I
that
know a Polish woman that really gets upset about this. I chat with her on the street sometimes. I run into her and I just get her to say nasty things about Ukrainians because she lived in Poland until she was 30 or something, so she has all these opinions.
Yes.
But this guy calls it Ukrainian pierogies, which I think is a little out of line.
My buddy's from Poland.
Pretty good. It's also a Ukrainian pierogi maker, Vareniki maker,
All
or
right.
Polish pierogi maker.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Not bad.
Can't those machines be kind of expensive? Some of those.
Takes like anything. Okay, off topic.
Like
So here
pasta.
we go.
Here we
Let
go.
me clean this out.
John Paul and his rice
Let me
experiment.
clean this out. Scientifically speaking, let me get a plate here. That's a plate.
First person
I'm gonna
view.
Take it.
Have you thought about doing videos like this, Robert Wallace?
Take it.
You could do this.
Put it here.
Videos of what?
I'm gonna rinse
You doing activities in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
You cook,
Yeah. Totally.
do rice experiments.
Yeah, rice experience, you know.
Choose it. And this
Chemistry.
time it's not in a green bowl.
I love chemistry.
It goes in this glass bowl.
Organic chemistry.
And we'll pause.
No pausing, John
That's
Paul.
what my dog does. My
We're getting
dog-
through this experiment. All right.
My dog pauses all the time.
So here we go. John Paul's rinsing off the rice in the grossest way possible.
That's what my sink looks like.
It's well, it's pudding rice.
Are you sure that's
It's
rice?
brown.
And it looks a little burnt.
So there you have it, folks. It's now brown pudding rice.
Downtown brown.
So how can you prove that it's green?
Mystery continues. Don't know what else to do. If you have any answers,
Downtown
solutions,
Johnny
or
Brown.
scientists out there who can repeat this
Or John Paul, yeah.
experiment
Johnny
and help
Paul.
me find out
Downtown Johnny Paul.
All right, John Paul. Well, we will not be repeating the experiments. So we've been following Daniel Alvarez here, and this is what I really want to get to. And I might just play it straight. I want people to discover exactly the way I did.
Straight?
I believe that Daniel is recording from jail. That's really what he's trying to get at here. I think he spent some time in jail, and now he's in some sort of probational facility. I assumed at first, based on these videos, that I thought he might be being deported or something like that. But he actually, I think he is American, and he doesn't even consider himself Mexican, as we'll get into in this video. He doesn't know his ethnicity, he says. There's a lot to say about black people, too. This video goes in a lot of directions, so I'm really excited for it. We were just following him drinking soda, and now he's fighting the law. What do you think about that?
That's not good to fight the law.
I had no idea the direction this would go. Also, we might get a call in from Dan McCullough this morning, which would be nice. Is that delicious? Nope. All right. Daniel Alvarez, everybody.
Oh gosh.
Oh, what's this video called? Daniel Probation Locks on
I'm making
Restrooms.
this video to show what the bathroom looks like outside of the restroom. You can see him in the restroom.
Look at those
Showing you the locks
headphones.
in the restroom. I'm going to show you right now where I'm.
He's in the restroom of some sort of probational facility. What's going on in the live chat this morning?
Look at the headphones he's wearing. Why is he wearing headphones in the restroom?
Should I pull up the live chat this morning? What do we say, everybody? I'll put on some Daniel Alvarez here, and I'm going to pull up the live chat. Stand by.
I don't know how to use live.
Man, after my jail sentence, now I was put on probation for a couple weeks. No, it's open. All right, cool.
There's other people in the facility.
Is it normally locked? No.
Ouija says
Put a
Robert Wallace cooking flawless.
Who said that?
Ouija.
Cooking
That's so
flawless.
sweet.
All right, this restroom's locked. Fuck.
Did you just say an F word?
Yes, he did.
Oh my gosh. I never.
All right, so I got it pulled up there. I see you, Ouija. Good morning, everybody. Anybody else in there? I hope you're having a great Wednesday.
The restroom's locked. Some woman named Miss Love. She's black. I'm not a racist. I don't think she's doing it on purpose to bother her. I think it's Mexican men who pay her to. You know, logically, it's Mexican men that pay her to. Let me get another like.
Because you have the type that kick you down the steps. You know.
One of the staff that works there is a black woman. That's what he's getting at in this
He
facility.
looks kind of scary, you know. Like, why don't you just go down those steps straight of the dark ones, and then he opens the door and he kicks you down them, and you can't unlock the door. Then
Right.
You must drink the soda.
yeah, totally.
All the bathrooms are locked in this facility.
Yeah, totally.
Face. So these restrooms, there's like a bunch of restrooms. All the ones on the top floor. There's 3 restrooms on the bottom, and a couple restrooms on the top. They're all locked. You know, I'm putting this on my YouTube to show you the injustice I've suffered at the hands of the criminal justice system in America.
Because you can't pee?
Because Mexican men.
Because Mexican men.
And, you know, work together with women to suppress me.
That's why he was arrested, because Mexican men work together with women. What a country, huh?
This happened in Mexico, he got arrested?
No, he's in America. I believe he's in California, but that's just a guess.
How did he get arrested?
We're not sure.
Okay.
Women to suppress me, my human rights. As a Scientologist, I'm a human rights activist naturally. So I do my videos about it. That's why I drink so much soda, to show you that you don't need to drink too much water. You can drink soda to hydrate too.
I was laughing so hard. Nobody in the world has ever seen me laugh as hard as I was last night when I was first seeing this. And he was saying, now I'm a criminal justice activist. Before, of course, I was a human rights activist. I've always been an activist showing people that they could drink soda instead of water. That's healthier for you. Drink 2 liters of soda a day.
Electrolytes, you know, sodium is a natural electrolyte found in soda. Now, it's not considered a real electrolyte because it's just sodium. But there are
But I guess, you know, if you're going for 2 liters, we had Trump and Biden, you know, 2 liters. A 2 liter.
It's very good.
Yeah. Something like
Or
that.
hydrating drinks, like hydration fluids, like Gatorade.
One 2 liter was flat, and the other one was
Powerade and Gatorade water have electrolytes in it. Now the
Fizzy? Are you calling Biden gay?
I don't know.
He was fizzy.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Trump's pretty flat.
Yeah, both.
Gatorade and the Powerade have sodium in it, and mostly the Powerade. It does have sodium in it. It mentions that some of the sodium, those sodium.
So now he's in a probation facility. He's locked in. The bathrooms are locked. There are people all around, and he's just done another rant about how good soda is for you.
Maybe he's at work. No,
does not disappoint. Maybe he's at work.
Yeah,
I don't think so. It'd be a big.
Because he has a pair of headphones on. You know? Well, I guess he probably keeps those on so no one takes them.
Right, I'm sure. There are a lot of thieves in this facility.
Electrolyte. That's why I mentioned that sodium is a
that's right.
natural electrolyte, even in soda. It should be considered because it helps you keep you from keeps you from having nosebleeds.
What?
It helps you
What are you doing,
hydrate. It
coke?
helps you feel
Have you ever heard that before? You know, soda keeps you from having nosebleeds.
No.
I've never heard that in my life. He says it so confidently. He says it multiple times in the next video.
Nauseous doesn't help. It helps you not feel nauseous when from drinking too much water.
Right. You know, water. Sometimes I drink so much water, I say, oh, I'm feeling gross. I better drink a Mountain Dew.
Jesus, Sprite Sinus Light.
I love Daniel Alvarez.
You drink soda normally because of the sugar. You know that.
You know, so has a
that
duh
allows
in
your
it.
body to feel better. You
So
get energy
duh.
since the sugar is a fuel. You're supposed to use it.
I just thought I didn't.
You know, even if you don't use it, you won't get fat. You just shouldn't drink too much soda.
Oh, you see my sister?
If
She's
you're
a
not
big girl.
sweating, or if you don't feel nauseous from drinking too
Oh, my
much
sister
water
drinks a
normally.
2 liter all the time.
You should.
Yeah.
When
Does
lays- She's taller laying down, I think, when she's standing up. You know, she's a big girl.
She probably is the healthiest woman you know.
Yeah, it's crazy when you see someone drink a 2 liter like this. You know,
With 2 hands?
Yeah, no, just normal too.
Well, that's how he was drinking it, of course.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Daniel
yeah.
Alvarez. Unfortunately, now he's behind bars, so we won't see too many of those soda videos
What kind
until
of bars? Is it like Xanax bars? Or?
legal allegations end. That wasn't delicious either.
You drink soda though, at least 2 liters a day. That's what I would do. Coca-Cola, especially because of the caffeine.
Maybe he's
in it,
in,
that
maybe he's in the
helps stay
crazy
alert.
bin. because he's
coffee is
drinking
good
too
as well
much.
for
He
caffeine.
thinks it's
Some
normal.
coffee has sodium in it as well.
I do think that the soda has melted his brain. You can tell by the way he talks that something's up.
I was trying to figure out what kind of brand that was too. You know, when I seen it, it was like a darker. Was it root beer?
He drank a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
few
that's
crushes.
Right. That's right. He did have
a Coca-Cola, some Mexican
Venoms.
soda, some Venoms.
I think it was the Mexican one though that I saw looked different color. You know, like I was like,
Right.
It's a house.
So he gets a little outdoor time here, which is good to see.
Is he on the roof or is he out?
I think he's on the ground floor.
Yeah.
I think he gets a little bit of
behind me.
freedom in this facility.
Yeah, I
When he's
know.
out. I think he spent a couple weeks in jail, and now he's in a probational facility.
I know in Chicago, one of the yards is on the roof. It's a skyscraper.
I see.
Yeah, it's in Chicago. My buddy was there for a while.
Oh, this was a good
Why-
part, by the way.
All right.
He's again reminding everybody that he's not racist.
You encourage freedom for all men from all walks of life, whether Hispanic, Chinese, white, or anything else. I'm not a racist. I just
I'm not a racist. I just didn't mention black in my
I'm
list
not
of
a
races.
racist. When you say I'm not a racist. I just
mention
No,
that
that's,
like
a, that's a
white
good one.
or anything else. I'm not a racist. I just
Only drink
I just
clear sodas. He drank a lot of dark sodas.
mention that I believe that these things are happening because of these people. The kind of people I talked about earlier, the race issue with me, because I'm like, when I was a child, I was white. I was like super white. My skin was white. I wouldn't say I'm white. I would say I don't know what my ethnicity is.
As dramatic music starts playing in the background,
There's an edit for you.
this is amazing. He does it himself. He all does it live.
And I would say I don't know what my ethnicity is, but I'm gonna cut out the video guys to the music. I don't want to copyright it by YouTube. Bye.
All right, Daniel Alvarez. That was his first video, and then he comes back after the music ends.
All right, guys. So the video I showed you earlier was
He's back in the bathrooms.
that I'm playing there in this video is I posted the video earlier. The restroom's locked in Miss Love's home.
He kinda looks like a cop
ODR
that-
probation home. It's a home you get.
He kind of looks like a cop that if there was $20,000, he would just take $10,000, and be like, "There was only $10,000 in that trunk." He kind of looked at that,
He looks corrupt.
Yeah. That's what I'm not saying a bad thing. What kind of?
Supposedly some kind of criminal rehab. Where I'm not a criminal in the first place. All I've done is follow the law, the Constitution, regard that if
He's a Sierra.
I'm about to be shot or something
Sierra
to try to
Mist.
defend myself.
I wish he would tell us why he was arrested. This is the closest he gets here. Let's take a little listen. Let's listen
We should
clearly.
look up his criminal record.
I only got arrested because
Supposedly some kind of criminal rehab. Where I'm not a criminal in the first place. All I've done is follow the law, the Constitution, regard that if I'm about to be shot or something to try to defend myself. That's what I was trying to do.
So
in
he's
this case is
some sort of
self-defense.
self-defense case.
Like, if I'm in jail and if I wasn't in jail for too long, but
You're right. I don't get what
I
he's-
committed a crime, and if I'm not here in this place, like some of you guys would look up.
Get this guy some soda so he can speak.
That's right. That's right, David.
Or whatever they call it, these government homes,
Totally,
government
exactly. Give him some
homes
soda.
that are the
But he has
owners
to go to the bathroom so
pay
bad.
the owners
that's-
get rent money
Or
from the
he's in the
government, or
bathroom?
your tax dollars.
I
are
think he's
going
in the
to-
bathroom.
My tax dollars are going to these
Those
programs.
headphones he's wearing.
Is he sitting on the
bit.
toilet right now?
I don't know.
He could be. Doesn't it kind of look like it?
Every frame of this 15 minutes is perfect.
It's locked because there's people in it as well. They
Oh, so this is another great moment here. Everything always goes back to the soda. The bathrooms are locked probably so they can monitor who's in the bathrooms
Yeah,
at all
totally.
times, maybe self-harm or drug use or something like that.
a piss test. Someone, they just like that stuff, right?
Exactly. So you have to ask, hey, could you unlock the bathroom to one of the staff?
Someone
there?
could do something dangerous. They could
So
go
you
in there
could
and
use
lock it. They could go in there by themselves
But
and
of
lock
course,
it and do something dangerous.
He drinks so much soda; it's a real liability for him not to be able to instantly make it to a bathroom.
But sometimes when all soda I drink and some of the water I drink does, and
Maybe they
have
prison up. It's just
Here we go.
and have locks on the restroom for me to pee on myself as I'm having to ask someone to unlock the restroom when I'm already having to pee.
Well,
I can hold it, but it's hard, to
It's
hold
hard,
it. Sometimes
jeez.
when all soda I drink and some of the water I drink too,
All the soda he drinks,
I don't
it's
pee on
causing
myself
problems.
normally. Unless
That's
the
right.
restroom is locked because there's people in it as well. They lock the
Probably
restroom. They
ruining
come
his
in and
bladder.
unlock them. They don't leave them open. You know, a lot of people
So he's
do that.
famous from soda.
Well, yeah, he has
chemicals in it.
He has a couple videos that
watched
hit
that.
4,000
Oh,
with
did we?
drinking soda. That's his level, but we've been trying to raise his notoriety, of course. This is going to be getting in the way,
I'm
I'm
not
sure.
gonna say who. I'm not gonna say I'm complaining about those people, but I mean, I am complaining about the fact that there's locks in the restrooms, and the fact that there's people who are locking them are working for Mexican men who are jealous of me and have no.
He sounds like jealous
motivation to be
Mexican
good people
men
in life.
who are
you know,
jealous
no
of me.
motivation.
Daniel Alvarez thinks he's very
What do you-
sexy.
Okay, what do you think of that?
Yeah, actually, Dave Collins, 30-minute hour show's number one fan. Could you rate Daniel Alvarez here? This is a good frame for you.
Rate?
What do you two think?
What do you think?
Rate like how?
Daniel Alvarez.
Friend-wise, I wouldn't want to.
But let's go with the Patrice O'Neill scale, 0 through 30. So 0 through 10 is what he looks. You know by looking at him that's an ugly person, but like it could be a 10 out of 10 ugly person. Then maybe an average person and then a beautiful person, 21 through 30. Are you following? So like Robert Wallace is an average looking man.
I'd say Daniel
And you start-
Alvarez is a 1, I guess, for me.
A 1? Wow. He's not a 1. A 1 would be somebody who just got run over by a train. Like a burn victim would be a 1.
Well, one would be someone without a green card.
You're going to put Daniel Alvarez below burn victim on your scale?
Okay, 5.
He probably smells like Fandango.
He's not racist, but
Oh, that's the movie renting website, isn't it? That's not a soda.
Yeah.
Fandango. What'd you say?
Anyway.
I think it's Fago. Like
Fago.
Yeah,
Thank
Fago.
you.
Like the
Things
Insane
that
Clown
I
Posse
should be
drinks.
left alone, that the Constitution guarantees me the right to be left alone as a human being. You know, I should be left alone and be not bothered, you know, having to be in this place where I could just be.
All right, let's skip ahead here. Let's go 5 minutes here. Daniel Alvarez in a probational facility.
I want to see what he
Going
did wrong.
into the restroom in restaurants or businesses unless you buy something.
He doesn't believe that. So now he's doing his rant about public bathrooms. He's still on the bathroom topic, but he's talking about public bathrooms at restaurants.
I feel that it's wrong because we're all potential customer anyway. As much as we know the restaurant from being in the bathroom, if we find like a deal or bargain, we all purchase something. You know, we might even be tempted by the food and buy the food, even if it's expensive. You know,
It's
But it
Daniel For You. It's the Nathan For You episode where he opens up the free restaurant. He says, we're going to bump up the business in
I
this
like that.
restaurant by
Yeah.
offering free restrooms. And then while they're in the restroom, you pitch them the restaurant menu.
Yes.
So he has somebody there that's selling the menu as he's offering free restrooms for this restaurant. Daniel Alvarez thinks that that's a good idea.
This guy
just
seems like he gets
10
upset.
potential
though, you know,
customers
like, jeez.
into
Most
buying their
places
product.
on the
That's
West
common
Coast
sense. You know, if you don't
Say no public restrooms.
Oh, really?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You got to keep the riffraff out.
Yeah, yes.
applying common sense about what human rights and what courtesy and respect.
I don't think I'd want to hang.
Are,
I don't think I'd want him
then
hanging
you're
out with
just
my,
a
you know, close family. You know, he just looks like.
You really got you trust issues with this Daniel Alvarez.
Yes, I do.
You think he's suspicious?
Yes, I do.
Well, he did spend some time in jail recently.
Just by the way he danced around why he was, you know, like, why tell us what you're in prison for if you don't tell us what you're in prison for? Like how he used to kind of dancing around it.
Right. That's a good point.
I didn't realize until you said something, and then I'm like, oh, no, when I watched
Our
it.
customers, if they didn't shop that day at your restaurant or your business, they shop before, and you should acknowledge that.
He's always
everyone has
bitching about
shopped
something,
He
it
just
seems like.
rambles
homeless people.
on and on.
Well,
About the same thing.
He has a lot to say. He's an activist.
I posted earlier before this one that
All right.
the restrooms
We're
were
getting
locked. I
towards
showed
the
a
end
video,
here.
I talked about it, and I showed you one of the doors is locked, and you know usually the other restroom is locked too. There's other restrooms in the
He's still talking
the
about
building. I'm just
restrooms?
going to stand up for my human rights to show history of how I've been abused. You know, and the fact that I'm forced to do blood draws for some kind of drug.
You know, I kind of agree. I am very particular about my restrooms too.
I'd like to look up that guy's
criminal record.
Yeah, because I think maybe people in a setting like that would be nicer. You know, maybe he's needs that. You know, maybe they lack that thing for a reason.
You think he might just have mental issues?
Yeah, maybe they lack that bathroom for a reason because of him. You know,
right? Oh, because of him.
Yeah. Don't put no shoestrings in those shoes or something. You know, like, you know, maybe he's dangerous to himself. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right,
instead of
wrap us up,
being proud of
Daniel.
my freedom, like
Probably
a
like
criminal,
everybody where he's at.
like
It's
I'm
probably,
not,
you know, that's probably the
where I'm
lock.
here. So definitely, guys.
When you go into a bathroom, you can lock that door. You know.
Mental health problem. You know, they're murderers, they're rapists, they're criminals. Not all Mexicans are, though. I mean, I'm Mexican myself, but I don't consider myself Mexican. I think that I don't really know my ethnicity because I don't look at anything at my parents.
I know he does that either.
And then it just ends right there. So,
When he says my parent, and it ends.
he says, "I don't think I don't look anything like my parents," and the video just ends.
And
That's
he's
a little
going
Daniel
like
Alvarez.
this too at the end.
He was saying, I'm Mexican, but I
And
don't
then-
really think I am.
And then my parents.
Yeah, he's technically Mexican, I
And then
believe.
it just ends like that.
So that was yesterday, of course. I was checking that out, and since then, he had a couple new videos that we could... 3, oh my gosh. So Daniel on U.S. citizen deportation, Daniel on immigration, or on quote-unquote actor Donald Trump. Do we want to check out a little more Daniel
I see where it
Alvarez
says
this morning?
popular and then oldest.
What's going on here? Good morning, everybody. Ouija.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just pee in the bottles? That's a great point. It's very clever.
Totally.
He probably should.
Totally. You should say that 2 liter. Whoever said that one, that's a good
He's
point.
peeing more than 2 liters, I imagine.
Yeah. 2 liters like Trump and.
How much blood can the body hold?
Sure.
He's dying from the inside. All right, let's check. I want to hear his opinion on Trump. Now he's back. He's
All right,
free,
guys.
everybody. I see the greenery
What?
behind him. He's back in the world. This is only a few day saga.
I
I'm
hope he's
glad I
not
caught
bitching
it.
about the bathroom still.
You got to keep up closely on this Daniel Alvarez. He's all over.
All right, guys, more on Donald Trump now.
All right, Donald
Now,
Trump.
Donald Trump is an actor, guys. In my opinion, he's an actor. That's what I
He
want
is-
to say.
I think they all are.
He is an actor. What movie were we watching? I was watching Trading Places. Donald Trump's in that movie, I believe.
With Eddie Murphy?
Right.
Really?
Donald Trump makes an appearance in that movie.
He did?
There's a lot of movies where Donald Trump makes just a quick old appearance. He is an actor.
In my opinion, he's an actor. He
Yeah,
was in
they
a
are.
WWE. In order to be in the WWE, you have to be
What did
a
you say?
professional.
In order to be the you.
That's what he said.
He was in a WWE. In order, he's an actor.
Oh, the
That's what I meant to say.
WWE.
In my opinion, he's an actor. He was in a WWE. In order to be in the WWE,
He speaks really fast.
You did that
In order
good though.
to be in the WWE,
WWE.
You did it pretty smooth. Like,
Oh, thank you. I mumble in the mornings.
yeah.
That's a problem, actually.
It sounded pretty on
People
spot.
can't. They say, "What did you say? You're mumbling." I say, I know. I mumble in the mornings.
You could do mumble rap.
Right.
Like
have to
rapping
be a
Christmas presents.
professional.
Like Future.
Like son of a bitch and present. Like mumble rapping.
In my opinion, you have to be a professional actor, which I think is everyone's opinion and everyone's knowledge.
Right.
No, normally, you have to be a professional actor. Normally, actors are on the WWE, like,
When he gets
No,
onto a
he-
subject, he
he-
stays on that subject, doesn't he?
But he kind of still burns out immediately. But he refuses to get off the subject.
That's that's a good
He
point.
has nothing to say about it. Sometimes when he first did his video about money, he said, "Here's my opinion about money.
And then
people like money because you need it to get things." And then he said, and then I'll continue this in a little bit. And then the video cut to
And you kinda
hours
burn out
later.
and it-
He had nothing to say. All right, let's skip to the end of this Daniel Alvarez video. What is he talking about? I see a smile.
the fact about saying it's my opinion. Which I'm
He'd probably be better looking if he wasn't doing these videos where he films, puts the camera on his stomach and looks down and then starts recording.
He sure thinks high of himself.
Yeah, he's
Oh shoot!
The least flattering angle.
That's my opinion.
I totally forgot what I was talking about. That's funny.
And let's show off how big my jowls can look from this perspective.
For the media, for publicity, money,
Is this like a Mexican stereotype in the way that they film? Or are you just listening to the background? Somebody's on the phone?
Yeah.
I see your two ears out. He's filming in vertical too.
So yeah, guys, I'll cut the video off for now.
Somebody's selling an apartment behind him.
Oh, I thought I heard bed rest.
I'm pretty sure that I probably shouldn't get into the Iraq War, and the Ukraine War.
Get
or
into it.
The other wars that
Don't be stolen
the
value
government-
in it.
That great. Even Daniel Alvarez. All our best comedians just want to be political commentators at the end of the day.
I hope he's not the type to start talking about the war and then act like he's but then not actually say he is. But
on that note, I did have a point about that. I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't really want to go on a rant about it or anything like that.
Yeah.
But so many of today people say, "Oh, I like this comedian, I like that comedian," and then they name 3 active political commentators as their career. You know, it's people like Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, Dave Smith.
Yeah,
they're fine. And if people like their comedy, I'm glad they do. But the comedy at this point is more of a hobby for them. It's like and then they say like, "Oh, I'm just a comedian." It's like Donald Trump if he came up and they said, "Oh, I don't know why everybody." I said this thing and everybody's upset. I'm just a golfer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, but your profession is something else. I understand that you enjoy that other hobby of yours and people watch you do it and things like that. But it's anyway. I had a point to be made there, and I was thinking about that a couple of weeks ago. Maybe it's not so catalyzed right now, but even Daniel Alvarez wants to be a political commentator. Can't everybody just be funny?
Yes.
Show something funny. Find a slow guy on the internet. That's what I say. It's my motto.
Kia.
You know how you
Exactly.
find,
No Billy
you know how you
McNeely, by
find
the
a
way.
slow guy on the internet? You go to that little star thing, and then you turn it down, their speed of talk. You go like -1, and then it's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you change the playback speed.
Yeah.
All right. Next subject.
That's no way you can do that.
What if I just did that every time? I said, next subject, and we look outside, and then we say, we're back. Next subject, everybody.
Here we go.
You know, if things worked out differently, maybe we could have done Streeties outside of this comedy show that I want to talk about briefly here. My villain in my universe here, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show's universe, somebody that I've talked about briefly on the show, my least favorite comedian on the planet, Don McMillan. He's a PowerPoint comedian, a self-described PowerPoint comedian, the funniest PowerPoint presentation they'll ever see.
PowerPoint.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a slideshow.
It's a slideshow. It's a visual representation, but boy, does he get under my skin. So we're going to take a look. Apparently, he's in Des Moines tomorrow. And even if things been different, it's a 7 p.m. show. I don't see myself being able on a Thursday in very many scenarios to be there around 5 p.m. to do the things that I'd want to do prior to the show and maybe after the show and things like that. So unfortunately, we won't do any Streeties there, but I did catch this last second. Don McMillan. I work tomorrow. But even if I didn't, this is going to be difficult to do the day before. I don't have a cameraman.
Isn't McMillan with Rodney Dangerfield on that pool movie, the college movie? McMillan? Isn't that their last name?
I'm not sure. It would be a different guy.
Yeah. I know it's a different guy.
So Don McMillan, he's in Des Moines, and we saw this on Instagram. Matt Ferry actually sent this to me earlier this week, and he said, "Oh, it's here. It's that guy that you don't like." He probably said it's that guy you hate, which I wouldn't want to say, but Don McMillan. Boy, does he get on. All right, let's take a little listen.
Such a strong word.
Ugh, that's what I say. Ick. Don McMillan.
Don McMillan.
He's in Des Moines. This is a little plug for his show. So if you're in the Des Moines area, go boo him at 7 p.m. July 10th.
Could you call him McMillan?
Yeah, Don McMillan. Good one. Go on.
On and on and on.
It's going, I swear.
But I realized that's a great one. Since I have all these jokes about signs and things you see as you go through the world, I'm going to share them.
By the way, I don't want this to ruin. Since we're going to watch this is the last time anybody listening to this can ever hear. I have a joke that is the same hacky punchline. I wrote it a long time ago. It's a rule of threes joke. It's very simple, but I put it in the context. People like current events. You do a couple current event jokes, and you say, watching the news. A lot of talk about misinformation in the news. But I see misinformation everywhere. I see misinformation on the TV, on the internet, blah, blah, blah. You guys get it. And I say, I see misinformation on street signs. I see this one that says school bus, but it's on a minivan.
I seen misinformation in the girls' bathroom.
Right. You get it. You get it, yeah. And it's a rule of threes. And the third line, I won't do the whole bit, but the third line is, and this other sign that you see is, usually when you see one of those signs that say slow children at play, usually just regular kids live in that neighborhood. A real easy joke. A million people wrote a punchline that you want to put it in some sort of context that fits whatever other bit that you're doing there. So I do it in a current events context, misinformation, blah, blah, blah. Slow children at play. Everybody's made that joke. What I don't agree with is just pointing at a sign that says slow children at play and saying, that's mean, and writing nothing. And Don McMillan, so I wanted to set that up and just get my joke out of the way.
I see what you're saying.
After Don McMillan just ruins this punchline, there's no point in showing you guys my my funny little gaffe.
with
Yeah.
you. Next time you see these signs, you'll think of my joke. If you're driving down the road, you go,
I'll throw up in my car.
Right, this one, you know what? Every time I see this sign, I picture this. What the hell is happening in that bathroom? Families should not be going to the bathroom together. That's just creepy.
I experienced that once with my mom
Oh, really?
at a bar.
It is thought-provoking. We should get him on the show. I'm sure he's a good conversationalist, but he never writes a joke. He just says, hey, do you see this?
No shit.
I hear you.
You see those windows right
this?
there?
You hear about this? He doesn't even say you hear about this. He just says, you see this? And then he moves on.
Okay, speed limit 25. Slow. How do you know they're slow? That's not nice. How do you know they're slow children?
This PowerPoint
There's
thing
a whole
is kind of
slow
like
school. That's mean.
I got you.
ridiculousness.
Right.
How he's presenting.
He's
just
the
going
Rob
off
Dyrdek
of what's
of
on the
stand-up
screen.
stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that lady? Shania.
Oh, I don't know her name.
You don't know her name?
Which one?
The co-host.
Ridiculous.
Oh, Chanel West Coast?
Chanel West Coast.
Yeah,
Robert
that's
Wallace.
right.
I heard
Robert
she's a-
Wallace
I
is a
heard
big
her-
Chanel West Coast fan.
I heard she's a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard.
Well,
Shania
you're the
Twain
expert
too.
in the room.
No, I just heard it on TV.
I see.
I mean, you know, it goes on the internet, so it has to be true.
I am shocked. No way.
A lot of misinformation out there.
That's right.
Never would've known.
Misinformation.
Oh yeah, so don't worry, guys. This is he does have a tag. More slow signs.
There's a whole slow school. That's mean. But don't worry, they have jobs. Look, there's slow men working. That's okay.
That other dude looks slippery when wet. That shady dude. That'd be
And
the
listen,
Bon
I
Jovi.
did not make. You see this sign all over the place. Okay, whenever I see the sign, I'm of a certain age. I think colonoscopy ahead.
What?
Right?
It's somebody.
Colonoscopy.
It's the sign for the audio
Colonoscopy.
listeners. It's the sign of a stickman digging in the dirt. Because that's colonoscopy ahead.
I am not going down that road right there. Unless I've done my prep, there is no point.
I wonder who his crowd is right now.
And with that,
Oh, that's good. He does prep for the gay sex that he has.
Wonder how-
LMFAO.
Wonder how big his crowd is
I
right
didn't
now.
expect a prep and AIDS joke into Don McMillan. Maybe it's worth seeing. Says I see this sign and reminds me of that man that I visit behind my wife's back.
Unless I've done my prep, there is no point. And with that, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for laughing. So,
Good out. Yeah, thanks so much for laughing and not throwing tomatoes at me like so many other crowds.
David, I'm glad I came in today.
Don McMillan, we're so happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to see Iron 8K just vape for 90 seconds?
Whatever you got.
That's
So he's back. The only thing to pull away from this video, we follow Iron 8K. Oh, sorry, I'll do this. Next segment. This is what it is, like a children's show. There we go. I see all those vehicles driving. None of them delicious. Oh, Jesus. I'm hitting my head on things. These headphones are thick.
Well, when you say the word delicious, you know, it kind of throws you off, probably.
What do we got going on in the live chat here? Why don't you yield your time? There we go. All right, now we're cooking. We got roadwork signs.
Yield. 80% yield.
Be careful. There's a fagger on stage. Flagger sign. I don't know. It's also a callback to dropping the L. We had a joke a couple weeks ago.
the L.
Anyway, yeah, flagger.
Oh
Flagger
yeah,
sign.
yeah.
Anyway, all right, we're moving on to Iron 8K. Iron 8K is somebody that I follow for a long time. He was living in a tent, and actually, now that I look at what he was live streaming yesterday, he's back in the tent. But I did have this video in my prep package here because he's just vaping for about 90 seconds in a house.
In a house?
He's found a roof, which I was thankful to
on
see.
fire.
He kind of disappeared for another week, and then he reappeared here, and now he's vaping. A little more vaping. He looks very high, but it may be just...
That looks like tobacco one.
Oh, yeah, it's nicotine.
Okay.
But he's probably very high, and I'm actually thinking that it might be prescription medications these days. I think that might be part of why he disappeared. Because he had another video that he ran into a car accident, and he said, I was walking down this street, it's about this time, I saw this accident, I called the police, and now I'm filming. It was all very lucid. So I say, maybe this guy's on some sort of medication right now. I ain't 8K here, so he's vaping in a house. That's all we wanted to pull. But I saw that he just had another live stream last night, and I wanted to scroll through that. It's 24 minutes, as they usually are, but he's back in a tent, so maybe we'll get a little hint of what's going on in I ain't 8K's life.
What if he's content?
Content?
Content. Like content.
Content.
Yeah.
I hope so. INAK, reach out to me. DC30minute@gmail.com. To get a hold of this guy, I probably need a WhatsApp.
Maybe.
I just said, I'm not even sure what WhatsApp
The
is.
title of his video
Oh, yeah,
is
would you read
all
that for us?
emojis except for one question mark. It looks like a chocolate chip cookie, a question mark, a bomb.
Oh, you have to say
something
it all
blue,
at
is that the
once.
world?
Otherwise, you don't get it.
That means something?
Oh,
It's like that,
I
you're like
can't
reading
read
one
him like
letter.
that.
You know, it's like cookie question mark, bomb, earth, infinity, rose, butterfly, star. I don't actually know what half of these are.
Star broom, laughing, crying emoji, crying, waves, thinking ... Good job, recycle, alarm. I can't read emojis
So whenever
like
you
that.
see those things, that's some kind of...
Some people do. I mean, I don't text like that.
I'll let everybody know what he's saying here. So the first one is a cookie and a question mark. He's talking about vegan cookies. Is bombing the earth. Infinite. He probably just likes the infinity sign. Roses and butterflies are a bit of his moniker. I'm not sure what the sparkle broom stands for, but a lot of it is usually referencing.
He's no longer in the woods.
Roses,
No, he's in the woods. This is a
roses,
tent.
Butterflies could be
that is a tent.
caterpillars to...
He's vaping in the tent for. It's a 24-minute video. Hoping that we can find anything in this 20 minutes that's not just him
What kind of
vaping.
light bulb is that up there?
They look pink.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I would probably for bugs or something. I think they have.
This is just brand new as of yesterday, so I haven't looked through this at all. Apparently, it is just him vaping. Here we go. All right. INAK,
vehicles.
everybody.
Does he have thin hair? I don't even know.
And somehow my video was just playing twice. The preview audio of the video was playing on top of the video itself playing.
Delicious a little bit.
Actively being monitored and tortured by vehicles.
Maybe not.
What?
Any technical glitch that he has on his phone is call for alarm because he's being targeted at that moment. Just a reminder, everybody. INAK.
And through my own
He's
accounts and
wearing
devices.
Ray-Bans.
Apple allowing the breach of security. YouTube allowing the breach of security.
How is he? You hear the birds in the background. It's a beautiful day. He's up in the northwestern Oregon woods. No, he's in Maine. I'm sorry, Lewiston, Maine, which is equally as beautiful.
Maine.
Oh, you guys are cute. You guys are awesome.
INAK?
What?
I'm talking to you too.
Oh, no.
Or
I seen you
you're just
guys
here
looking over each other, kind of giving each other's... You weren't looking at me. It was just kind of like a little glance.
I'm looking at you, Robert Wallace.
Hey, how you doing?
We're talking about INAK.
How you doing?
Look at them. They're looking at you, Robert Wallace. We're wearing the same color pants. Did you notice that? We have the same jeans on.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Got these for $1.
Can anybody else see that?
Got these for $1.
Oh, I got these for like 40.
Yeah.
What a drag. I got to shop where you shop.
Yeah, that guy's taking a big drag right now. He was.
Government.
So there's his thin fingers. They look like they're thickening up, though.
They look like Doug... What's his name?
Townsend?
Doug Townsend?
Yeah. He just looks like that right there.
Allowing the breach of security.
Not now.
And privacy.
Breach.
All right. Well, that's it for INAK, I guess. I'm not sure what this video is about. I do like that he continues filming himself even when he's relaxing.
At least he's like looking normal. Like that one guy, he would look like he's full of himself. That one guy we were watching.
Oh, no.
With the clown.
INAK is very modest.
Yeah, it seems like.
It's a little INAK check. So, no real facts of what's going on. He hasn't hurt anybody yet, as far as I know. We're keeping an eye on him.
That sounds good, David.
You been watching this INAK?
Mm-mm.
Well, he's out there. He's not posting as much as he used to, though. Anyway, he's got no words in this one. He just vapes, and then the video ends. What else do we have here? Oh, I have some pirate stew. Do we want to get into our uplifting video this morning? What time is it? Oh, it's about 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Good morning, everybody. Happy July 9th. We're down a person. Dan McCullough might be calling in the next few minutes. I'd like to hear from him, of course. And Delicious is missing. Be nice if he was here. You see that empty chair there? Oh, I zoomed in, so he didn't even have to look at an empty chair the whole time. What do you guys think about that?
For disappear, D.
There he is, an empty chair in the bottom left-hand corner. I finished my coffee here.
Sometimes we can say whatever we want to him.
Right. Should we play the beginning of episode 5 of the reality show? That is that him? It's not him. Not him, everybody. False alarm. Here, I'll pull this up.
Oh yeah, I'm not pregnant either, so that's false alarm. Just to let you guys know.
Oh my god.
You guys want to vamp a little bit?
Sure.
What'd you eat for breakfast, Robert Wallace?
I did not.
That's just a joke. That was a reference to Delicious. Because one time I said, hey, Delicious, could you fill a little time while I pull something up? And he turns to Dan McCullough and says, what'd you have for breakfast? I said, well, I was hoping anything else. I search episode as if that's going to narrow it down.
I went to bed around maybe like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, and you don't sleep very many hours.
You went to bed. You sleep for 20 minutes? You called me at 5 in the morning, by the way, Robert Wallace.
Yeah. I don't sleep too long. I get some sleep in.
So I did make this introduction to the 5th episode of the reality show here, and it did heavily feature Delicious. Of course, Delicious was going to be managing the Jester's Lounge, the very quickly defunct Jester's Lounge.
Womp womp.
Which the story is related to him directly, of course, but we're not gonna. I think we've talked about it on the show in the past.
Yeah.
And I have no personal connection. I'm not any closer to Johnny O than I am Delicious.
I seen Johnny O last week.
So this is not really my fight to get in between or have any opinions about.
I seen Johnny O walking. I was walking. Actually, I thought it was somebody else. He was walking across from this gas station because he was doing a podcast. And he was just stopping at the gas station, and I'm like, "This Brian," and then he's like, and then I realized who it was, and then he's like, "What's up?"
Right.
And he said he was doing some kind of podcast.
He's great to run into.
Like on 15th Street.
Tom Garland was recently on Johnny O's podcast.
Was
I got no mention.
Was
very offended. Tom Garland, I thought you liked me. Anyway, this is going to be the next episode of the reality show if it ever got finished. The Jester's Lounge, episode 5. Introduction.
All right, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming out to Wednesday night, our open mic night. It is a free show every Wednesday night right here at Jester's Lounge.
So, who are you, and what is your role at the Jester's Lounge?
I'm Delicious. I'm the production manager is my title. I do sound, production, booking. I'm the what is that? The maintenance guy too.
I like that church music.
Yep. Got to clean up stuff, fix shit, all the fix stuff. Sorry. Yep. Try to David.
30 minutes.
I like that.
Show with David Collins.
I was going to set up the disaster of the Jester's Lounge episode there, and a really great. And then we also have, of course, so much footage with Ray DeVito and other people that we had come in. Whatever.
I like how you edited that.
Oh, thank you. There's going to be a great episode, but things change.
Yes, they do.
It's a difficult now we're already in new projects, so I'm not really sure about that. But the intro is worth showing anyway. Great interviews. Then that the editing block right now for that episode is about an hour and 20 minutes long. Of all clips that need to be deleted or organized or find an order and then fill in, plus the Boston edition, because that covers July. The Jester's opens, and a week or two later, Delicious and I went and visited Boston.
Change the subject a little bit. Have you talked to Ryan Graham lately?
Oh, a little bit. Well, every time I reach out to Ryan Graham about, what day you're going to be in, we'll follow Robert Wallace, we'll do it in that, because I want to incorporate him with as much of the project as possible, and I don't want to make too many moves without him.
Yeah.
And he always says, it's always worse news. It'll be, I'm gonna be losing my house, and then I'll be like, hey, what do you do? Do you want to set a date or something? He'd be like, oh, my second leg broke now, and I've lost my second house.
So when he's using that crutch, I mean, he's really.
My parents shot an arrow through my shoulder.
So he's really hurt.
He's always got worse news.
Like when I seen him limping, or when I seen him that one day.
Yeah, he's an old man. I'm not sure.
I wasn't sure if he was kidding.
His body's failing him. It does seem like a bit. I understand.
Yeah, like an Andy Kaufman bit.
Right.
And I was like,
you never really know, but he does. I think he's in pain.
I think he is too, but
both emotionally and physically. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
That's Ryan Graham. So a little Ryan Graham update. That's what's going on. It's nice when somebody says, "Oh, how are you?" and they say, "Not good." I like that little change up.
I shouldn't ask.
Well, like Gay DeVito, says somebody in the chat. That wasn't my words, of course. I would never say that.
What?
Gay DeVito.
Oh.
It's his name, Ray.
Yeah.
But somebody changed it to a G as a sick, cruel joke.
I'm not sure who he is, but I never heard of you say that.
Ray DeVito.
Speaking of, I posted, this was funny. I'll just mention this real quickly because I thought this was...
I know the name Ray DeVito just from him.
This was a little silly because I posted on, what was it, Twitter? It was Twitter. Hackride tweeted me and he said, Ray DeVito blocked me or something like that. He said, Ray DeVito blocked me. And I told him, I said, Ray DeVito and I have always had a close working relationship. And then I posted this clip. You guys want to see this? This is me bringing Ray DeVito up on stage.
Sure.
Where is it here? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong order. Does anybody see this?
Right there, Ray. No, not
bringing
Ray and Johnny.
DC brings Ray on stage. Here we go. DC brings on Ray DeVito. Let's take a little look at this.
All right.
I'm the old subject of Jester's Lounge and Delicious Missing. This was that show that Ray DeVito that we got. It was a great bit getting Ray DeVito into the Jester's Lounge here for this for the show and then for a comedy show that I hosted. This was Halloween featuring.
Yeah, I love that guy.
I was hosting the show and then Ray DeVito, of course, is headlining. Halloween. This is his closer.
And it was at that moment I became pro global warming. Fuck it, turn this bitch into water world, see if I care. Happy Halloween, you guys have been fun. Thanks for coming out.
I've always gotten along with him real good.
One time.
That joke really hit me.
Halloween, everybody!
Oh, you like that? Halloween?
About Waterworld.
He's very funny.
Great. Well, I hope you come back in November to see it. You know, Halloween, he might have mentioned this here. I'm formerly from Manhattan, Kansas, here, and I used to host a radio show down there.
In hindsight, this is a very inappropriate way to bring up the headliner. I understand that. I'm realizing that while I rewatch this. I said, the headliner's coming up. I talk about myself a lot. But anyway, it's all in good fun.
105K Rock.
You can see that beer. I drank a lot of beer that evening. I usually don't even bring a beer on stage. You can tell I've been drinking when it makes it to the stage with me.
Yeah, you're right. I never see you with a Bud Light.
Right, exactly. Or anything. A Bud Light. What are you, a fan of comedy? I got a Bud Light hat here. Some Shane Gillis merch.
Yeah?
Yeah. You a fan of comedy? I go up to I wear this at a bar. I say, oh, you guys like comedy? I got Shane Gillis right here. Anyway. Yeah, I got a Bud Light in my hand. This was actually the day. This Ray DeVito show was the day before that.
Bud Light weighs lighter than a Bud.
I went to a Halloween party with the cast of Creature Feature in Nebraska the day after this Ray DeVito show, actually.
To see it. You know, Halloween, he might have mentioned this here. I'm formerly from Manhattan, Kansas, here, and I used to host a radio show down there, 105K Rock, it came out. So that's where he's kind of talking about there. And he was on the show, David Collins' 30-minute hour show. Not only that, though, Halloween actually won an award last year for David Collins' 30-minute half-hour award show for the best laugh. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Halloween, everybody. He's great.
Halloween.
Now for the meat of this show.
Here we go, bringing on Ray
We're
DeVito.
looking forward to our headlining comedian tonight. He's coming here from Cleveland, Ohio tonight. But he does most of his work in Manhattan, not Manhattan, Kansas. Manhattan, New York, of course. And he's very familiar. He's been on a lot of shows with people you might be familiar with. You might have seen him on Comedy Central, even. I hope you're looking forward to our headlining comedian tonight.
Maybe. I'm not sure why I said that, because I'm not actually sure. I don't think he told me to say that. Was he on Comedy Central at any point? Is that true? Maybe. Everybody's been on Comedy Central.
Let's make some noise. Coming to the stage, Ray DeVito.
All right, well, let's take a little listen to Ray DeVito's opener here. We got a minute of this. Why don't we just take a little listen to some of his stand-up? How does he introduce? Now, it is a smattering here. It wasn't the biggest crowd, so it's going to be a little intimidating. What happens next?
What's going on to you guys? Well, how are you guys and ladies? Thank you for nobody sitting anywhere near me. This is awesome. Well, you guys want to sit like, no, we'll just stand in the back. How are you guys? Good? How about a round of applause for everyone? Yeah!
All right, so you can hear the crowd there.
Matt, Aloe, Delicious, DJ. Yeah, he calls himself Delicious. I'm going to call you Jeffrey. I'm going to call you Jeffrey. I'm too old to call a dude he's a DJ.
You got to respect Ray DeVito for that. You know, he doesn't. Sometimes he's a little rude in the way that he doesn't play games. Like, nobody's playing games with you. Just be a regular person. But if somebody is messing with him, I guess he didn't catch me. I was kind of messing with him. But he caught Delicious. He didn't like that. He felt suspicious about Delicious, and he said, I'm going to call you Jeffrey.
Suspicious and delicious.
I guess the DJ thing.
That's funny. Also, Delicious isn't a DJ. I don't know where he got this from. He said, I guess it's a DJ thing.
Dude, but he's a DJ. I guess it's a DJ thing.
What?
He thought he was
I'm
doing
drinking.
everything at Jester's.
I could see where people think he's a DJ.
Yeah, that's true. Of all the things you could misunderstand.
Yeah, your beer's like $2. Like, I can't afford to not drink. Like, exactly. Like, yeah, it's. You want to quit drinking, but you can't. Here, how are you? You're the closest one to me. You're the only one I can see, lady. There we go. Some eye candy right out front. I like it. I assume you're married to the person 5 feet away from you. That's nowhere near you. No, that's not. Who's that with you? That's your dog. Is your husband here? He's over there?
You know, in the context of him headlining a show and this being the first 45 seconds on stage, I wouldn't say it's going well. He does turn it around. They do end up liking him. I wouldn't say that they hated this show by any means, but it's a rough start.
Yeah.
It's a very funny clip now that I'm rewatching it.
All right, so you put people in between you. That's how long you've been married? Like, all right.
A little bit.
Dan McCullough. Good morning. You're on Drive Time, David Collins.
Oh, good morning. How's it going, David?
It's going well. We got into it because Delicious isn't here. We ended up getting into a small amount of Jester's talk, and we showed some of that funny old intro to episode 5 of the reality show where, you know, with the Beethoven and Delicious, and now we're watching a little Ray DeVito.
Oh yeah, I just tuned in before hopping in the car. That's what it looked like. It's funny stuff.
And while I was at that Halloween party the next day, you were actually hosting the show with Ray DeVito.
Yeah, yep. I don't remember it that well.
You filled in for me. Oh, really? That's too bad. It was very memorable for me. But I remember I messaged you. I said, oh, this Halloween party is a conflict, and I really only need the Friday to do the show and just host it once with him. I don't need to spend a second day with him. I have no real interest in that. Maybe you could fill in. And then you did, and it was great. It all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, by the sounds of it, oh no, was that your video that you took that you were playing?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay, so that was the Friday night. I don't think the Saturday night had many more people at it.
Oh, I heard it was about the same, of course. I don't know what was the issue with Jester's. We watched the Goose. They were getting plenty of people in. There was really something wrong with this. I don't know. The location or people's attitudes or the promotion. Who knows exactly what it might have been.
Location.
Yeah, who knows?
But anyway, how are you this morning? Why don't you tell us a little about your vacation to Colorado? You recently went to back to Fort Collins. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I actually got to do a little comedy out there at the Comedy Fort. Their open mic was pretty fun. They do a kind of weird style though, so they only let 20 people sign up, and you have to be put on like a waiting list. So they choose like 8 or 9 like regular performers that are there all the time, and then they slot in other random signups.
Wow!
So I got to do a whole 3 minutes. There,
that was my question. I'm wondering how much time people are doing there. So there's about 20 people, and maybe it's a little bit like some people do 3 minutes, some people do 5, and some people do 7.
No, it's more. It's 3, 4, and 5, and then they have a closer who actually she's from Madison that moved out there. Did 10 minutes, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I think everyone had a good set. Except for the one person who just went up and talked about their sexuality the whole time.
I see. Well, that's good to hear that they're comedy focused over there, and that the person talking about their sexuality wasn't the killer that night.
Yeah. Yep. No, they got a bunch of open mics out there now.
Was that the only time that you got up, or did you get up in other places? Did you rub any elbows with anybody?
No, nobody talked to me.
Oh.
I did bring a few friends from Fort Collins, but
very good.
I don't know. Maybe I was the one being like, antisocial or something.
You were too cool.
I chatted with a couple people, and they're just like, "Oh yeah."
Goofy.
I don't know, just not conversationalists. I guess they're just too worried about what they're going to say on stage. Maybe.
Right. That's true. You got to catch them after their set during a cigarette. Did you tell anybody about David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show? I should have given you some shirts.
Fuck, no, I didn't. I should have brought a magnet.
Right, a magnet. I could have given you a bunch of pins. Did you fly there?
I did fly there.
Oh, I should have given you a bunch of pins to fly with.
Yeah. They all open on the plane and get arrested.
I was doing some research the other day. Apparently, I could bring as many pins as I can fit into a carry-on and a checked bag on the cruise.
D-pins?
Oh, really?
Right. There's no pin, no pin restrictions.
Oh, that's very nice. I thought, it's a cruise though, so they don't have TSA.
Certainly, and we're driving. I'm a big driver. Not a lot of people know that. I hate flying. Do I ever talk about that? I hate flying. I don't fly. And it's not about the flying thing. I'll fly. I love flying. I mean, it's a fun thing, but I don't want to submit myself to that type of degradation that it takes to get on a flight.
I see.
I don't give up my rights. Ask for a lawyer. Don't sign away your rights. That's what I say. And every time I get there, I say, I want a lawyer. And they say, you can't fly.
Those TSA people are they're just like cops.
Robert Wallace got in today. Of course, he's on the show today, and he said, how's Dan McCullough been?
Oh, good. Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Hey.
Good to hear from you.
How you doing, Dan?
Good, man, good. Can't complain. Just on the way to work.
Yeah.
You two must see each other at the Goose fairly often. The Goose is a comedy open mic that I have been missing, among other open mics.
I think I missed the last one.
I see. Well, the 4th of July, it's been a little bit. Dan McCullough, were you in Fort Collins for the 4th?
No.
Last year I was in Boston for the 4th. Boy, they like America over there.
Where were you at, Dan?
How do they feel about America over in Boston? I mean, over in Fort Collins, excuse me. You know, I was leaving a bar on Saturday. I got to get a drink with Matt Ferry. I left the bar, and there was an Indian bouncer there. And I said to the Indian bouncer, I said, Happy 4th. And as we were walking away, and he kind of stuttered, and then a sentence later, he said, Happy 4th back to me.
Happy 4th.
Well, no, it wasn't that type of Indian.
Oh, okay.
It was a Native American man.
Happy 4th.
Right, exactly. But we got a little further away, and Matt Ferry said, you got to be careful. Not a lot of people, you don't know who you're saying Happy 4th to these days. And I said, oh, is that true? I didn't even think about that. I thought it was a holiday.
Yeah. No, I was saying Happy 4th to all the white people I saw.
Oh, that's great. Well, there's a lot of them in Fort Collins.
Yeah, there are. Well, I wasn't out there. I was back in Iowa for that. So
I see. Is that true about Fort Collins? Now, maybe probably because the school's out now, there's less Asians, but it's all white and Asian over there, I've heard.
Yeah, I want to say I did not see one black person in Fort Collins.
Interesting.
Saw a few in Denver. There was an Asian fellow that I hiked up to the top of Gray's Peak with a couple buddies.
Nice.
And on that route, we ran into an Asian fella.
Wow.
Who was looking for his friends. I don't know if we thought he was trying to con us or something like that.
Oh.
Not being racist, but he was just.
You meet a stranger.
He's claiming he's got two friends. Well, we get down to the bottom. It turns out he was getting done at the same time, and his two friends were with him, so he wasn't trying to.
Oh, good. Well, you got to be careful with those Asian con men out there.
Yeah, especially the ones that are they got all the hiking gear. They look professional. That's how they get you.
Now, listeners want to know: was he wearing a cowboy hat?
No, he was wearing a beanie because it was pretty cold.
Trying to think of a Tim Pool Asian pun, and I didn't get there. Here's Kim Pool.
A beanie.
Kim Pool, yeah.
All right, we did it.
There we go.
Did you guys like that? Mm-hmm. Do you two have anything to say to Dan McCullough? Are you anywhere to work, Dan McCullough?
Good.
I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm about to park.
How wonderful. Dan, save those impressions for the game, says Ouija.
All right, sounds good.
Well, I guess Dan will have to leave us alone.
I don't get it.
He works at
I work at a credit union. I'll have to leave.
Oh, alone. Oh, that's very. That was very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, we have 10 seconds left of this Ray DeVito clip here. Thanks so much for calling in, Dan McCullough.
Bye, Dan.
We all wish you were here.
Yeah.
See ya.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, you guys take care. Drive safe, drive hard.
Thank
All right.
you.
I got to hang up before I say more things. I could go back and forth. I say, also this. And then I'll say, all right, bye. And I'll say, wait. All right. Dan McCullough, everybody.
He's good people. He's good people.
All right. We're about to the end of our show here. I guess we'll just wrap up with this Ray DeVito thing, and then we have David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. We finished that episode with Brody Tupi. Our next episode is actually with Alomeen. Episode 7, I believe. So Halloween in the Lucky Cat's green room. Halloween's green room, to be specific there. So we'll end the show with that. And it's a shorter episode. It's 28 minutes. So we're going to listen to half of it today. Less than 15 minutes of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show to end the episode. But let's wrap up with Ray DeVito here. 15 seconds.
So you put people in between you. That's how long you've been married? Like, all right. How many years is that? You don't want to talk. I'll do jokes. I got this. You don't have to. She's like, okay, don't talk to me. Well, I'm glad you're here.
All right.
I'm glad you're here.
I do remember that guy.
Then he gets into a stand-up comedy. Oh, did you go see the show?
No, but I remember that guy from somewhere.
David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, maybe.
Yeah.
Certainly.
That's what it was.
A little Ray DeVito there. But that was fun. A little Jesters talk, a little Ray DeVito talk, and look how we're able to pull up these clips. Right, we can't end the show without any Pirate Stew today. Do you see any jokes? What do you think? We have, did your first house suck? Why do we call false teeth dentures?
Did your first house suck?
Do you want to see that one? All right.
Yeah, sure.
Let's take a little listen to Pirate Stew.
So, when I was young, I was just anxious to get out of my parents' house. And so the first place I found had a 4
Oh, jeez.
foot.
Excuse me, everybody. Let's just start that over. We had a stutter.
So, when I was young, I was just anxious to get out of my parents' house. And so the first place I found had a 4-foot ceiling. I couldn't stand living there.
There we go.
Pirate Stew, everybody.
There we go.
And then he does his signature look into the camera like, did I just say that? What are we? I'm putting food on the table. Dad joke of the day. I like a dad joke. Here we go. Pirate Stew. One more Pirate Stew.
So my father used to work 12 hours a day to put food on the table. He was a great man, but he was a slow cook.
That is humorous.
Pirate Stew. All right.
Are those older ones or
Start
those newer
the day with
ones?
those are brand new.
Oh, they are.
3,040 something, I believe. He's on his way.
That was good.
So we have some Matt Jacobson. What did I have in the prep package here? Oh, it looks like we're pretty much there. Iron 8K, and then we're at the end of the show. So we really nail it, I'd say.
Woo.
No delicious here, unfortunately. Did you guys enjoy your time on the show today? I'm really thankful for both of you to be here.
I really did.
You can't believe it. You're very consistent, although I was getting nervous yesterday trying to text you.
Oh, my phone's screwed up.
Definitely. And I called you once, and I said, I hope this is... And then I called you at the end of the night a couple of times, and I said, I might have to... If I don't get an answer, I'll have to call Todd and say, hey, just in case he doesn't call me by tomorrow, or you're going to be up. And then probably I'll say... But if with delicious scenario, I might as well have picked up Todd today, too.
I'm always prompt. I'm always... Whenever you need me.
You're with it, and I appreciate the heck out of that with you. In fact, when I went to help the wizard move a few weeks ago... I was delighted to see that you were already there.
Yeah.
You're everywhere. You're always helping.
Yes, I try to help.
Yeah. He dropped his phone in a puddle.
Yes, I did.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
It
hear
was
that.
in the puddle for about 15... I mean, and the screen's already cracked up, so...
15
minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, I was like, where's my phone?
You have any green rice to soak that up?
No.
We do that in the show. We do callbacks. I learned that from Todd Basinger.
Is that what they call them? They call them callbacks?
Right.
Yes.
Should have seen Todd Basinger and Chris Kaufman. A bunch of callbacks.
I watched Todd Basinger, and I don't know if I've seen...
It was a good one. He was here a couple weeks in a row. Enjoyed Todd Basinger. Anyway, we're towards the end of our show. I guess we're going to wrap up here with the David Collins 30 Minute Half Hour Show. David Collins 30 Minute Half Hour Show's #1 fan.
Hi.
Thank you again. Do you have anything you want to say to our audience?
Have a great July.
Did you enjoy your coffee?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah. We're midway through July now.
Have
We're
a great
in
July
9th.
because it'll go quick.
I know.
We're heading into it.
Summer. This is summer, guys. Enjoy it.
Sam Bibley, Mint Diggity, Ouija, thanks so much for chatting this morning. Merch Mouse and Old School Dave and Kenneth 100 Marlboro Reds or whatever that guy's name is. Kirk Marlboro Reds.
Thank you very
like
much.
That. All these people, our listeners, DJ Electra, Tiger Lily, Dan McCullough, Matt Ferry, my mom. Cheers, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Cheers.
Drive safe, drive hard.
DC.
Show with David Collins.
Oh, you want to hear the full intro? Of course everybody wants to hear the full intro.
Well, yeah.
Here we go.
And this color of the
Collins, 30
day.
minutes. Show with David Collins.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. I'm your host, David Collins. We have a great show for you today and another great exclusive guest. I'm very excited. This is probably our most famous guest that we've ever had, and we're back at the Lucky Cat in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which means a lot to me. Again, I'm looking at that sign that says Aloe Means Green Room, and like I had hinted at, that's our guest today. Of course, actually, today's a pre-tape, so just so everybody knows, not as live as it usually is. This is going to be released a Monday before April 1st. April's coming up. A lot of people listening are already going to know April's one of my favorite months. Two of my favorite holidays coming up, April Fools and Earth Day. So really looking forward to this coming month here. We're also going to be looking at doing some live events coming up. There's a comedy festival also coming up in April, and we're going to be looking to do some live interviews. Keep an eye open for that, hoping some of those interviews might break the internet. Dan, again, is with us on the show today, filling in that co-host seat. How you doing today, Dan?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing, David?
Another great day. You do any comedy this week?
I did, yeah.
Fantastic. Local announcement for Manhattan, Kansas area. I just wanted to mention, we want to give everyone an early heads up that as of March 20th, Hayes Drive will now be closed immediately south of Casement Road through early November. This closure is due to a storm sewer construction and related to levee work. All commercial properties on Hayes Drive will maintain their access from the south via Macau Road. However, neighbors to the north of Casement Road will not be able to access Hayes Drive, but instead will need to go south via Tuttle Creek Boulevard. So if that affects anybody, keep an eye out open for that. Before we get to the show today, everybody's favorite, color of the day. Today's color of the day, scarlet. Today's color of the day, scarlet. I thought a nice simple color for today's color of the day. Today's color of the day, scarlet.
Another great one, David.
Lastly, our sponsor today, B&L Vacuum Center, located at 610 South Juliet Avenue, number A in Manhattan, Kansas. B&L Vacuum Center is a local Manhattan, Kansas vacuum repair shop. To know that this place is where you need to bring your vacuums in case of an emergency, you only need to read the reviews. The man that runs the shop is simply excellent. He's helpful, knowledgeable, and treats his customers extremely well. I'd give it 6 stars if I could. Can't say enough good things about him. So be sure you check him out next time you need a vacuum repair. You think of R&L Vacuum Center. Call them at 785-539-6146 for a quote. Thank you, B&L Vacuum Center, for sponsoring the show today. Very excited to invite our guest onto the show today. I'm glad he was able to make it. Long anticipated, Aloe Mean.
Yo, what's up, man? Can you hear me? Is this close enough? This is good, right? Fist away. You said, a round of applause.
You sound great, Aloe. You sound great, and we're so happy to have you on the show. Make some noise for Aloe Mean, everybody. Aloe Mean is an Eastern Iowa-based stand-up comedian and podcaster. Aloe has appeared on multiple podcasts around the country, most notable being Tony Hinchcliffe's live show, Kill Tony. There, Aloe was one of the first people to ever receive a golden ticket, allowing him to appear on any shows in the future. You may remember Aloe Mean's famous encounter with Donnell Rawlings, which went viral the summer of 2021. What a great year, huh?
Oh, man.
You remember that?
It was a spectacular year. It was one of the best years.
Aloe also hosts his own podcast that can be found on Spotify, Aloe Means Green Room. I guess that explains the sign, huh? I never put those two things together.
Yeah, we record the bass recording is out of here.
Please follow Aloe.
Oh, shit, sorry.
And let him know that you heard him here. Welcome to the show, Aloe.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything else that you want to plug? Any social medias or anything? Anywhere else that you can find you besides Spotify?
Aloe Mean on fucking the gram, and I think probably Snapchat and probably TikTok too. I'm on all those, even I'm too old.
No, I wanted to ask you, of course, so many people might know that incident and just be loosely familiar. So I thought we'd talk a little about that. How did you get started with Kill Tony?
It's like kind of the reason why I started comedy. It forced me to start comedy. It went on tour.
Really?
Yeah.
I started comedy because I had a great guest one time when I was on radio, and then that comedian actually invited me on stage and had him open for him. And that was a great... Did you have something similar to that? Have you met Tony Hinchcliffe prior to Kill Tony?
No, huh? What was that comedian's name?
Mark Norman.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, Manhattan, Kansas. Probably was 10 years ago now. But
that's dope, man.
It was a great story.
He just put out a great special.
Did you meet Tony Hinchcliffe prior to Kill Tony?
No. The thing happened. The show happened.
So you're watching the show. You say, I want to get into stand-up comedy. I'm going to do this show.
I had planned on going out to L.A., but then it came to Omaha and Des Moines.
Wow.
I hopped on that shit.
That's great. And I just watched that clip today. You mentioned Des Moines in that clip.
That's where I'm from, and that's where the second show was at when he actually gave me the golden ticket.
Well, that's great to hear, and I want to hear more about that, but that sound means it's time for the first game today.
I didn't hear that.
I'm excited for the first game today, too. It's called Stimulating Statistics. Statistics that make you think. So in this game, we're going to give you some old-fashioned... This is one of those games that we love on the radio. I haven't done a classic game like this since we've started this type of show, but I thought usually it's a kind of game where you want people calling in. But we're going to give you a statistic, and you're going to have to fill in the blank. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. Here's something that anybody listening to the radio could call in and answer. Are you ready to play Stimulating Statistics?
I believe so.
I had an old coworker send me these so we could play. Hopefully he doesn't get in any trouble. I'm on a little bit of a do not talk to list there. It's kind of grinding my gears. I got into it a little bit last, and I'm still thinking about it. But we're trying to stay positive too. Round 1 of Stimulating Statistics. A third of people under the age of 40 said that this is one of the hardest parts of growing up or being an adult. A third of people under the age of 40. What do you think? Now are you under the age of 40, Aloe?
No, just over.
You're just over. So this doesn't apply to you anymore. Maybe you've solved this problem. But before you were 40, do you think of anything that maybe a third of people like you, this would affect?
Probably busting nuts with a partner. I mean, we can all do it by ourselves. But...
Oh, it's actually preparing meals every day.
Oh, Jesus God.
You know, if you solve one of those problems, though, that might be solving the other. Good guess. Let's go ahead and go to round 2.
That's a very good point.
Do you get a point?
No, that was a very good point you made.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Dan, I thought that was your job to kind of let me know when I got a good point there.
Well, it is, but Aloe's been doing a great job of it himself. Maybe he'd be a good co-host for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
It'd be a little more expensive, but maybe we can talk about it.
That's true. I am
You
cheap.
should send in an audition tape,
I am
Aloe.
cheap.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
What do you think about round 2 here? Leading up to Valentine's Day, nearly 60% of single adults say that they are not doing this.
You say it with an M?
What is it?
You say it with an M or an N?
Valentine's Day?
Okay, I heard an M the first time. Sorry.
Leading up to Valentine's Day, nearly 60% of adults say they are not doing this. What is it?
Cooking.
They are not cooking. So we're going with a similar answer. Dan, might you have a guess here? Leading up to Valentine's Day, what might you not be doing?
Getting a girlfriend.
I think you were out of time there. The answer was looking for a relationship. So Dan, pretty good at these games. You got to be careful, though. He's been studying radio these days.
And I messed him up with the mic pass. I passed him the mic. I tried to hold it for him, but he wasn't comfortable with that.
Round 3. When polled, 30% of people say they have seen this happen at a Super Bowl party. What is it?
Double dipping.
A double dip. You're pretty fast on that one. Do you think that that's the answer? Do you want to confirm that one?
I watch a lot of Seinfeld. Yeah.
Hey, you were right. When polled, 30% of people say that they have seen an argument over food or snacks.
Oh, damn it. That's kind of close to what I said.
We got one more round of Stimulating Statistics. Do you like this game?
Thank God, I love it.
Is this the type of game that you would call in if you heard it on the radio, do you think?
This is the type of game I want to steal and put on my podcast, honestly.
You heard that, listeners. And if you want to play along, go ahead and email dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. Send in your answers. We love to see it. Round 4. This is true for about 33% of American adults. What is it? It's true for 33% of American adults.
Dan, you go first this time. I've been going first.
It's true for 33% of American adults.
This is true for 33% of American adults.
They have kids?
Aloe, would you like to take a guess? Dan's pretty good at these. You might want to back him up.
It's not kids, I don't think. It's no, actually that would be a good statistic.
You should go the other way and say
they don't have kids.
They have a criminal record.
Oh, nice.
33% of American adults. Do any of you have a criminal record? The odds are one of us will.
They are trying to build a prison.
Now, Aloe, I really appreciate you taking the time to get on the show today. We really love to have you.
Is it over already?
No, I want to talk to you personally, get into a little more about this.
Hell yeah.
Have you spoken to Donnell since the incident?
Kind of not really. On Instagram, I think. We talked a little. I might have said something somewhere, and he told me to shut the fuck up, bitch ass nigga. I think was the.
That's fascinating.
It could be wrong. That could have been a dream.
Would you like? We have a fan base here. If you want to put that relationship back together, we may be able to help facilitate that.
Oh, it might happen because I'm going to go. I just told Tony Hinchcliffe that I'm going to be back down there.
Through the aftermath there before you reached out to him. You're getting a little far ahead. You're getting a little resolution.
Yeah, I was going to last week.
Conflict here. When you were at that conflict, tell us a little more about that in the aftermath.
You promise not to interrupt me.
Did this help or hurt you?
I mean, helping hurt. I mean, it did more good than harm. I don't think there's really any harm.
No harm?
Maybe to my ego.
Was it embarrassing?
Dan's agreeing with me.
Was it stressful?
Not really. It was, well, kind of sometimes. I felt like I had to respond to every message for a while.
Now, this is something I want to ask you. When you left that night, did you fly home the next day?
No.
How many people at the airport recognized you?
14. They were all fucking baristas.
If it was the first time for me, I'd probably be counting too.
I fucking was.
It's weird. The whole incident, he tries to defend you. Now, I don't want to talk about this the whole time. I'm sure have you talked about this publicly at all?
Yeah, I think my first podcast that I used to have. My second podcast.
So a lot of people probably heard this. So if anybody's interested in that, check out Alomeen's Green Room.
No,
And you
it was
can
my
hear his
other one.
full explanation.
It was an old podcast. It was,
You know, we had another guest actually interviewed him in this room. A similar thing, constantly changing podcasts. Very interesting.
Who?
Did you think this incident might get you on Joe Rogan at the time?
No,
I always thought, I'm hoping that maybe we could get him as a guest, and then if he has a good enough time on this show, maybe I could get that exposure from
That's
his
how it
show.
goes. That's how it goes.
And that's what I was wondering. Could you introduce me to Tony Hinchcliffe?
I mean,
I'd love to get him on the show.
I could try.
You know, well, we could even fly to him. If they're willing to pay for tickets, I'd be there tomorrow. So maybe, just keep that. We can talk about that after the show. I'd really not like to talk business, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
He would be a great guest to have, and you could come back too if you could facilitate that. Now, it's 2 years later since that incident. Do you think you might have
Jesus
2 years
Christ.
of comedy experience?
Has it been 2 years?
It'll be 2 years in just a couple of months.
It's like my greatest peak of comedy, you think?
Do you think now that you had 2 years of comedy experience, you might handle things differently, or do you have any regrets about that?
No,
incident?
I'm proud of myself how I handled it. It was fun.
You seem to be having fun. Even I remember a quote you said, "I'm just having fun."
Yeah, we're just having fun. I expected to lose that altercation, but he got emotional. That's all.
So
He's
now you
probably
have your
drunk.
own podcast.
Mhm.
You're doing your thing there. Tell me about your podcast, Alomeen's Green Room.
It's not organized and it's not. It's fun. I have fun sometimes. I laugh.
How would you describe it? Because I listened to Ben Fella's podcast leading up. Unfortunately, I hadn't had a chance to catch up with yours at all. But I listened to Ben Fella's, and I told him I described it something like, "Are you familiar with Ben's Fellas?" It's
Yeah, I've heard
the comedians
parts of
here. I'm not sure if
some
I mentioned
episodes.
this before.
Mhm.
Of course, we're in the Alomeen's Green Room at the Lucky Cat, but we're here before an actual comedy show will be taking place very soon, right on the other side of this wall. So
More of an open
there's
mic.
got a lot of comedians kind of arriving right now. One of them is that Ben Woodfield guest that you're going to remember from a previous episode. Ben's Fellas, I described it something like Fighter and the Kid mixed with Joe Rogan mixed with something different. What would you say about your own?
Green room, pretty much. Just a green room, so whatever comes up goes.
That's great. Well, I have a great time every time I'm in this green room here. So I imagine that I would love that show. Do you have any plans for the future? Any future guests that you're hoping to get on? We're really hoping to get on some great guests in the future. We're putting out lines. We're getting new staff on. And if you're interested in being a part of that project and getting on the team, email us at dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. But how about you? Do you have plans for guests or plans?
I like Bill Cosby on.
Really? You may be able to do that. It's almost like when people are annexed.
He's going on tour.
He would come here.
Bill Cosby and Dilbert.
That'd be great. That would really get you some numbers, I'm sure.
Not the guy who writes Dilbert, the actual character Dilbert to be on.
I've heard about that. I've heard about that. Not a lot. There's a little inside here. A little inside. I don't want to confuse my audience, but Dilbert actually appeared at a comedy show in Dubuque, Iowa. A very funny local incident. We didn't talk about it on the show, but we are going to be maybe doing some interviews at that comedy bar in the next couple of weeks and putting that on our social media. So keep an eye out. Follow those socials at DC 30 Minute Half Hour Show on Instagram and at DC 30 Minute HH on Twitter. Keep an eye out for those. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Future guests, future studio upgrades.
That was it. Oh, nope. I like to put more pictures up. Maybe get a vinyl.
That's exciting. That's also exciting because that sound means it's time for our second game. The second game today, it's a little clever. It's called Don't Judge a Movie by Its Review. In this game, we're going to read a couple one-star reviews.
Oh, it's over. All right. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
I wanted to hear those one-star reviews.
Oh, well, that's the next episode. That's the second half of, or you can check it out right now. David Collins 30 Minute Half Hour Show, episode 7 with Alomeen.
Thank you.
And finish that episode yourself. Anyway, have a great Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Hump Day.
Isn't that wonderful? Whoops.